It is without a doubt that Lian Li is constantly upgrading their products and producing new ones in terms of giving us something that we need, we want, and that we might think we need, or at least they think we need. But it's all in all an outstanding way to basically have new products constantly launching from their side, because after all we did get convinced that their products have outstanding quality and they continue to produce at the same quality level all the new products. So today we have something quite interesting. Today is release day of the Unifan AL 120 V2, which are much better, improved, and more lightning effects and all the other stuff, which we will get to that part later on. And right here we have two separated cables, which are STRIMER Plus V2. One of these is 12VHPWR to 3/8-pin, and the other one is 12VHPWR to 12VHPWR. So you can manage, well, basically they're sold separately, so you can manage or you can buy whatever you need for your PC. Now, we're gonna get to that part later on as well. So let's start with the fans. Now, right here, as you can see, you can grab individual 140 or individual 120, or you can grab a triple pack of 120. This gives you an option to do wonders in your PC and basically manage everything precisely as you want and as you need, depending on your PC, depending on your case, depending on the fan capacity that you could place inside and all the other stuff. So yeah, there's that. So immediately when I took the 120 out of the box, I noticed that it's much thicker. So from 25 millimeters to 28 millimeters. This gives me an idea immediately that the performance on the fans is boosted just by those 3 millimeters of thickness. Also, what I noticed is right from the box is that the position and the design of the hinges that's used to interlock with each other is completely different, giving us more room for placing the fans on the radiators so they don't go in the way of the tubes, making it nice, clean and easy, and they still have a possibility to be removed. Now with the Unifan AL V2, you can still manage a 3+3 daisy chain cluster to reduce cable clutter, which is always appreciated as Lian Li started to do these things, removing the cables from the fans, giving us less cable management, but a cleaner look as well. Now they also added additional LED strips on the side of the fans, so it kind of gives more aesthetically pleasing to the eye when you place the fans on, I don't know, top radiator or somewhere where you don't see the front or the back. The side part actually shines quite nicely and subtly with 4 lines, and this looks outstanding because it looks cleaner. It really does look nice. So the difference between the AL120 V1 and V2 performance, we have airflow. So the airflow for the V1 version is 64.5 CFM, while for the V2 is 77.3 CFM. We have static pressure for the V1 going 2.62 millimeter H2O, while the static pressure for the V2 is 2.97 millimeter H2O. The decibel range didn't change. It did go higher, but not that drastically. So for 0.4 decibels in acoustic level noise, it goes up. So they are a bit louder, but for 0.4 decibels, which is outstanding because we got a thicker fan, we got much better performance, but they kept the noise level almost at the same degree and it doesn't go way higher. And the speeds, of course, the V1 is 800 to 1900 RPMs, while the V2 have a start-stop function, which is outstanding because the fans can be brought to a full stop completely quiet, basically, for a completely quiet system when it's needed. So that's outstanding. So we have 250 to 2000 RPMs. So that's really good because you have much wider range of RPMs to manage your fans, and the full stop is something that if you're just browsing on the internet or doing some light stuff, you don't need to have fans turned on. When we're talking about the AL V2 UniHub, it can support 3+3 cluster. the maximum number of fans supported by the controller is 16. So basically you can't use all the channels going 3+3 because that will be 24 fans. You could go maximum up to 16, so you'll have to rearrange everything as it should to get up to 16 fans. Basically 4 per channel, but if you go 3+3, then one channel might be, let's say, less with 2 fans. The L-Connect 3 has been updated to fully support the Unifan AL 120 V2, so it can support the new daisy chain functionality, performance and lighting capabilities of these fans, because we need to take into consideration that we have now the start-stop function and we have 4 new effects. So we have colorful city, we have render, electric current and twinkle, while the bridge cluster functionality introduces 8 new merging lighting effects like runaway, mop-up, wave, spring, tail chasing, mixing, tide and electric current. As already stated, the availability comes with 120, 140 black and white version, and triple pack only comes with 120. So let's check out these cables. Now what they did is outstanding because first of all they made the lightning lines thinner, so from 2.8 millimeters to 2.1 millimeters, which lowers it down a bit, gives nice, more aesthetic and definitely without a doubt nice looks. The lights are brighter, and the cool thing what they did is they're more flexible, even more flexible. Well, they are V2, so comparing to V1, which were stiffer and thicker, makes sense. This is also fully flexible. So what they stated is that the 12VHPWR cable can be bent like this, giving you a possibility to put the new RTX 4000 series cards in a much tighter space, in much tighter cases. And because it supports, because each of the cable is individually not braided but rubberized for isolation and protection and stuff like that, but it's still flexible, so it gives you an option to basically do this straight L shape, which is outstanding and prevents all that trouble we had with the RTX 4000 series. If if the cable wasn't connected, that's totally different. But for instance, if you bend the cable too much, the cable might have just slipped a bit, or some reasons. I didn't go into that part too much because I always connect my cables properly, but regardless to that. So each of these cables comes with additional cable, let's say adapter, that gives you an option to connect the cables directly to a 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB header on your motherboard. For instance, you want to connect these cables directly to your motherboard to control it through your motherboard software because you don't get Uni Hub. You can connect them directly to your motherboard and do wonders whatever you wish with them through motherboard software. And in addition to everything, it also depends on your color scheme inside your build. You get additional clips which are white. The original ones on the cables are black, so you can swap them, and depends how you want to go with. You can manage the design to your liking, which is outstanding. The one thing that I have to say with the cable that comes with 3 8-pin cables is they are nicely done, and comparing to the original NVIDIA cables, which are honestly rubbish in terms of length, in terms of cable organization and everything else that they did, they could have really managed to put much longer. These ones are nicely isolated in terms of they are flexible, first of all, and most importantly they're even length, even though with NVIDIA they're, I think, somewhat even, and they can be nicely grouped, so you can do much nicer cable management. And this is what we are looking for. This, well, at least I'm looking for a nicer cable management in my builds, which basically brings us down to this. They come available in 12 plus 4 pin to 12 plus 4 pin with 12 lightning guides. Then we have 12 plus 4 pin to 12 plus 4 pin 8 light guides, and we have 12 plus 4 pin to 3 times 8 pin with 8 light guides. And the new STRIMER PLUS V2 are compatible with the STRIMER L-Connect 3 controller, which is included with the 24 pin STRIMER PLUS V2. So basically this is why you don't get a controller with the GPU cables, because if you have a 24 pin you already have a controller and you're good to go. These cables also introduce new sidelight diffuser for extra brightness, which kind of gives more to the visual aspects. And by letting the light escape from the side of the RGB strip, the impact is a bit more impressive, let's put it that way. All three of the new STRIMER PLUS V2 12VHPWR feature a custom designed male connector for the GPU end. The connector follows the ATX 3.0 standard of a 12 plus 4 pin, built with 16 AWG wires, which are easily capable to deliver up to 600 watts. And the extra bending tolerance, as already stated, gives us a possibility that these cables sustain higher temperatures and sharp bends. And even if you want, you can remove the housing to make it suit your case and your build. So basically what you could do is you can go with 12 lightning guides, so 12 of these strips in the cable, or you could go with 8, depending on do you want more RGB, do you want to have less RGB, it's all up to you. And basically this is how it would look if the 12 VHPWR to 12 VHPWR is basically this instead of 3 8-pins. So this is 12-1, this is 8-1, and this is how it will look. So it's all up to you to decide. Do you want more RGB or do you want a bit less but still RGB? So yeah, that's really cool to give you an option with that. The 3 8-pin doesn't come with 12 lines, so you do need to take that into consideration as well. Also, they redesigned the 12 plus 4-pin connector, giving us possibility for a better thermal design that adopts the welding method that straightens the tightness of the connection, stabilizes the current and slows down the temperature of the terminals to rise. The terminals are made out of copper alloy with an increased thickness, so 0.25 millimeters versus 0.2 millimeters, which is the standard, which also provides current stability. In addition, the isolation layer has been added between the terminals to further prevent any shortages. I don't think I have to discuss anything more than that, because this is the reason you could bend the cables as such. So we have new lighting effects which are added to the L Connect. We have fade out, contest, crossover, bullet stack, twinkle, parallel, wave, ripple and voice. Single mode lighting effects go from rainbow, mixing, meteor, static, paint and ping pong. And that's basically all there is to it. I mean, the design is quite nice. If you don't like the lines going so wide and then they end up like this, you can always go with 8 lines instead of 12. I wanted to give you guys more insight, so I chose one of the 8 and one with 12 lines, so you can actually see the difference and notice the possibility what you could choose and what you could make in your PC. The fans, I don't think I have to mention anything. The only thing that would make a difference inside your build in terms of placing them is the thickness. So that is the biggest difference, which goes to your decision making. Will these fans fit? So if you want to upgrade, first measure everything and then change what you want. This combination is outstanding, and personally I really do love the old AL120, but with the sidelines they really do look nice. So guys, I'm placing the links below in the description. If for some reason they aren't still available on Amazon, I'll place the links directly to their website, so if I might have skipped some details that you might want to know, or if I did skip them and you do want to know some other information, leave a comment below and I'll answer it as soon as possible. So yeah, we have the new STRIMER PLUS V2 12 VHPWR. One is with the same basically an extension, and the other one goes to 3 8-pin connectors on the other side. And we have the new Unifan AL120 V2 in triple pack, single pack and 140 single pack that you could choose from in black and white. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell so we can keep the channel growing. And hopefully you won't miss another video with Lian Li products. Thanks and see you next time. Bye bye guys.